Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing fine. My name is Itamar Eyal, a photographer based in Tel Aviv, Israel. Hopefully we will be able to travel soon, so today I'm gonna give you some tips for landscape photography. There's an endless amount of things that go into one's photo, some consciously and some less. And of course it may differ from photographer to photographer. These are simply my most fundamental ideas that go behind my photos, the main things that bring my vision to life. I came up with 7 different tips that I'm gonna share with you today. The first idea is to research your location. Know your location. Search for some photographic spots and come with some basic photo ideas in mind. You will be so focused on the location and guarantee you'll get much more out of the location. Honestly, I don't like to plan a lot or to read so much, so here is some simple tips to do so. The first one that I do is to open your favorite social media and to search for your location. You'll get immediately thousands of photos. Go to the photos that you like and simply DM the person who took them and ask for the location. I'm sure most of them will be more than happy to help. Trust me, I planned whole trips like this. The second way that I'm researching is by searching travel bloggers that I deeply appreciate, who write about specifically the spots you're searching for as a photographer. Search them on Google or find some ideas on Pinterest. You'll immediately skip thousands of articles on circles and tours that I'm at least not interested in. The third way that I'm researching with is by opening Google Earth and see what people uploaded and pinned. You can literally go for a walk in some places. That's crazy. You actually don't need to travel anymore. Did you know that you can go for a swim somewhere in Australia through Google Earth? Never mind, you got my point. The second tip is to scout your location. Once you got to the location, don't immediately pull your camera out. Take your time to get lost. Walk around it, experience it, make a coffee or something, and connect a little bit deeper to what you see. So many times I find myself getting to an incredible location and immediately starting to burst photos, and then I walk away and see there are much better photo opportunities. You'll experience and enjoy the place much more, which that's important by itself, and therefore you'll get much better photos with fewer clicks. Really, just enjoy the fact that the mountains are patient. Take your time. If you travel with people that are not photographers, it's a bit different usually and the expectations need to meet beforehand. We've all been there, I think. My third tip is to shoot higher or lower than your eye level. Everybody sees approximately from the same height, and that's where you as a photographer bring a different perspective on the same location. I think that's a big part of making your photo unique and eye-catching. A little bit dirt on clothes didn't kill anybody, and a little bit of hiking will just make you stronger. Short story. I walked in the boardwalk of Jaffa, probably my favorite place in Tel Aviv, passing there all the time. There's a lot of different kinds of rocks in the water, and this time I got closer to the water, actually in the water, and got this photo that I'm really happy about. People always say to me that I'm not really experiencing places, and I say we are photographers experiencing in a different, deeper and closer way through the lens. The fourth tip is to shoot in golden hour, 1 hour before or after sunset. I really can't emphasize it enough. We of course shoot landscapes in natural light, and there is really no other better time to be outside. Sunsets are beautiful by themselves, but even if they're not your main subject, everything will look much better. The light is much softer, the contrast is much better, and the colors are popping out just beautifully. This is a photo I took in Meteora, an unforgettable place in Greece. I took this photo in midday, and as you can see, it's exactly the opposite than the things I said. I woke up the next day before sunrise to be up the mountain and get this photo. I was super stoked. I think it's definitely worth it. What do you think? The fifth tip is to choose what to include and not to. Ask yourself what is really adding to the composition or story. Scan your frame for different structures and subjects to frame. Not less important, scan your frame for what is taking from your photograph. Another tree that it was hard to give up on, or just a rock, or a sign popping out from your right, or just a dude taking a selfie. Whatever. Just look for these things around the frame. If you have to include them in your shot to get the composition you were going for, just keep in mind to erase them in post. For example, here is a photo of the huge Yosemite Falls. In this photo, I just tried to capture everything that I saw. It was a really beautiful view to see after we got down from Glacier Point. And then I did a little bit of thinking and saw how beautiful the carpet of trees under the last part of the waterfall looks like. Take a moment to think on what to frame in each photo. This is the photo that I took in the morning after we camped in Habonim Beach in Israel. This is not exactly a landscape photo, but I think it's a good example of taking your time and get rid of all the things that really taking from your photo. My friend held the tent so it will align perfectly, and we got rid of all the bags and unnecessary stuff, and this is the photo that I got. The sixth tip number 6 is to add a foreground element. Think about your photography as 3D scenes. There is more than just your specific subject that creates the scene. It's not just the lake, it's the trees in the foreground, the lake in the middle, and the mountains in the background. By adding those simple layers, you add much more depth into your photo. This could be done by shooting a bit lower to the ground, adding some leaves, taking a step back and include the activity that you're doing in the photo, or do something creative like throwing a rock into the water. Sometimes it is just your subject in the photo, but in this case, at least in my photos, there are always some kind of layers, difference in light or color. And last but not least, add a human being in your photo. I do this in so many photos to create a feel of scale, and it makes your photo much more relatable. And short little bonus advanced tip that I had to give you is shoot panoramas. Not necessarily to get all the crazy view that you're watching in your photo, but to create high-res photos. It makes your lens much more versatile, and you can create a low depth of field wide-angle shot. This is really cool, and I do this all the time. I just throw them in Lightroom. Lightroom does the magic, and boom, raw panorama. And of course, everybody say that, but go out and shoot. It's simply true. There's no other way to get that information in your mind, and there's no better way to practice. The same way you learn to read letters in school, you learn to read your view and interact with it. That's it for today. I hope you learned something. If you want me to cover anything in the future, or if you got any tips for us, please comment them below. Appreciate you watching. Peace.